Hello and welcome to Cut 2 with Vivek and Viru. And today we are in a beautiful country. I love this country, the culture, the cartoons, everything about it. In fact, the food also. I've been to this place and I love it. It's Japan. And today we are talking about one of the best anime movies ever made. Vivek, tell us about it.
Yes, it's Paprika. It's directed by Satoshi Kon. There are a couple of scientists who have created a device called the DC Mini. This device lets psychotherapists experience the dreams of their patients. However, the device gets stolen and is being misused by someone to make all of life one waking dream. This movie explores the relationship between technology and our perceptions of dreams and reality and how they could be horrifyingly similar.
And to discuss this, in fact, he's the guy who told us to watch this film. So that's why we said, okay, itna confusing movie hai, so let's get him onto the discussion and ask him what the hell is happening. Here's a friend of ours who's also been a colleague. He's a sports guru, Monish Murthy. Monish, say hi and then tell us, कवि कहना क्या चाहते हैं?
Hi Viru, hi Vivek. I found this movie through off a listicle, which was about inspirations for movies you may not know about. So
Okay.
वहाँ से I saw this. I found this movie. I watched it and मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. So
You watch it
that's the
again?
yeah. फिर से हाँ. Now again I watched it recently, and it felt way more straightforward on second viewing. But पहले बार when you watch it, then it's mind blowing. Like how Inception would have been at the first time that you
हाँ.
watched it. So
हाँ.
it's very similar like that.
So Inception may, I think the parallels that I saw was of course that device that takes you to a dream, someone else's dream world. Apart from that, I couldn't see too many parallels. You enter someone's here, उसमें इसमें ऐसा कोई idea fit करने का in someone's subconscious mind या ऐसा कोई theme नहीं है इसमें. The other thing is I can just remember that one that hotel का वो जो scene है ना जिसके अंदर this detective runs
हाँ.
and the hotel का that corridor melts वो
Yeah.
with a
Funakawa.
well corridor action sequence uh, in Inception ये दो का थोड़ा सा है and of course the surrealism that comes with it उसके अलावा तुम लोगों को कुछ लगा क्या?
The whole point कि when you die in the dream, you die in real life. वो एक
हाँ.
So, for me, I've read about a lot about time travel and subconscious and all that, but it's
Uh-huh.
always been this plain Jane information, right, Viru? But Nolan has made all of this very entertaining for me.
Right.
And when I was watching this film, right, it took me back to how I felt when I was watching Inception. It was almost like reliving that experience. And it was good because during Inception, exactly how Monish felt, I didn't understand anything. And I went home and I was like, I need to kind of read the hell out of the film and then kind of watch it again to understand. But
Right.
here, I kind of let it be and didn't really beat myself up for not catching up with what's going on. Rather just invest my attention on the story and find answers to my questions later. That was the kind of a similarity
Similarity.
between making such a weird science topic so entertaining and also
Mm-hmm.
kind of having a great storytelling arc to it.
Right. In the film itself, you said that this is a science fiction kind of movie and giving it that whole entertaining aspect to it. In the film, it says science is trash in front of profound dreams. There is this correct character who says it,
Yeah.
and of course, I mean, dreams you can break the laws of science in various ways, and what this is what the director does in a beautiful way, like the surreal scenes that he creates is spectacular. But talking about that, I mean, Inception may at the end of the film, you start thinking whether it was all a dream. Do you think this film was also all a dream, Monish, Vivek?
नहीं, Inception I think was more of a finely crafted thriller. वो ऐसा thriller का पूरा effect था उसमें, and then it leaves you only dazzled and confused कि ऐसा क्या हुआ है, and there is that whole cliffhanger aspect कि is he in the real world या is he still in his dreams? Those dreams have they overpowered him. इसमें I felt it was made very clear. There is a point, जब वो सब dream world आके collide होने शुरू होता है. and that
Right.
guy, chairman, when he starts taking over, when he goes
Hmm.
overboard, तभी तो
Inui.
फिर वो सब ड्रीम का एलिमेंट्स वगैरह सब आता है. It's wrapped up very clearly that Paprika आके she controls everything, and then end में भी we see that that inspector, where he's again going. So people access dreams differently, yeah, that persona differently. That inspector, he goes through the website. कोई
Right.
लोग ऐसा, they use the DC mini. This guy, he goes through the website. It's very clear that they are back in the real world.
Okay, so इसमें है ना, actually I read a fan theory which was quite compelling. This entire thing happens in the head of the detective. It's actually a therapy for the detective. If you see the start of the film, it starts with the dream of that whole detective जिसका जो problem है उसको solve करने के लिए Paprika has entered his dream world and is trying to solve his problem. Through the film, we realize that it is an unfulfilled dream that he had of making a film, right? जो उसका वो जिसके वजह से उसको वो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, एंड इन द वेरी एंड ही एक्चुअली एंटर्स अ फिल्म, राइट? वो एक सॉरी, ही एंटर्स अ फिल्म मतलब ही एंटर्स अ थिएटर टू एक्चुअली वॉच द फिल्म. सो उसका जो फियर था स्टार्टिंग से वो पूरा चला जाता है. स्टार्ट और एंड टेल्स यू दैट दिस इज ऑल हैपनिंग फॉर हिज थेरेपी. सो दैट वाज अ कंपेलिंग आर्ग्यूमेंट. और उसके लिए एक और चीज मेरे भी दिमाग में था कि स्टार्टिंग में when Paprika is doing the therapy for the detective in a hotel, right? But Paprika is the dream alter ego of Chiba, who's the real world में doctor. How come the detective meets Paprika in the real world, whereas she cannot be in the real world? So I'm a little confused there. वो alter ego real world में starting में कैसे दिखाते हैं?
Very interesting theory, Viru. But I thought कि ऐसा, it's his therapy is part of his curing is part of the movie. But then उसके like towards the end where he realizes what the dream is, what it means to him, what his subconscious is trying to tell him. I think वहाँ पे वो resolve होता है, and then he plays an active part in the plot of the movie, which is
Okay.
how they're trying to rescue it from that chairman. वैसे पप्रिका का बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है, बिकॉज आई थिंक वो आके लाइक अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग काइंड ऑफ ऑल्टर ईगो. तो मूवी में अर्लियर आल्सो वी सी दैट व्हेन दिस वन चीबा, शी वॉक्स पास्ट अ मिरर, तो उसको मिरर में पप्रिका दिखती है. शी इज नॉट वेयरिंग द डीसी. हाँ, वो डीसी वो सब नहीं पहना है उसने. सो उसको स्टिल वहां पे, सो पप्रिका इज लाइक अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑल्टर ईगो. एंड एंड में भी दे हैव लाइक वन इंटरेक्शन वेयर Chiba says, you are a part of, you should listen to me, you're a part of
Right.
my thinking. वो बोलती है, नहीं, have you considered that you are a part of me? तो फिर Paprika is like this kind of and Paprika भी end में भी there is one more line उसका आता है कि good and bad, dark and light, and then बीच में Paprika, some spice. तो वैसे I feel like वो एक तीसरा ही element है वो, who's very strong and she has that ability to go
To come
between
into the
worlds.
real world or whatever.
Yeah.
And interact with real people. So actually उसमें भी ये भी बताया है कि DC Mini breaks the wall between the real world and the dream world, and there is no access control. There is a chance of leakage. So maybe that's how Paprika comes into the real world. Vivek, you were also thinking that it was entirely a dream, right?
Yeah, it felt like that even in the end when he is entering the movie theater, the inspector, and he's coughing at all of it, or even the scene before that when he is about to enter that room online, and he turns around. And so for me, it was all a dream. And then later on, the theory that I came across is very similar to yours, Viru. The only difference is that this Reddit person on Reddit mentioned that the inspector is Satoshi Kon, the director.
Oh,
And
okay.
he had released a film which was Godfathers of Tokyo, and he was somewhere stuck in writing a new film. What is going on in his mind while he's writing Paprika is what we see in the film. And in the end, when he looks at Godfathers of Tokyo playing, now showing, and he almost like scoffs, and then he goes and buys another ticket, preferably to go and watch his own movie, Paprika. That was the entire theory that I came across, and I thought that it fit completely well in the scheme of things that I had seen the movie with.
Wow, man, ये तो मतलब next level है. I mean, these these kind of films spawn so many fan theories, right? And yeah, I mean, there might be
ये
other
ऐसा
explanations where we don't know. Huh, Monish?
next level of Hitchcock है ये ऐसा putting himself in the movie वैसे पूरा ना वही डाल दिया.
Another theory where it said that the dream is actually a parallel for the internet, and it is also shown in the fact that the detective actually enters it through the laptop. And in the film also, the character says dream and internet is where the repressed conscious minds went.
Yeah,
तो
yeah.
वो वेंटिंग मैकेनिज्म है. इनफैक्ट व्हेन यू गो ऑन टू द इंटरनेट इट्स सो फ्रीइंग दैट तुम्हारा वो जो कैरेक्टर होता है जो इंटरनेट पे, दैट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम व्हाट यू एक्चुअली आर. लाइक यू बिकम मोर क्रिएटिव, मोर एग्रेसिव. अगर तुम किसी के सामने से यू डोंट टॉक टू openly, but on the internet you are open, right? So that is the character that you become online. So maybe that is the point of that alter ego, and that dreams is actually a parallel for internet, where people come, become more wild, and the discussions become more wild, and somehow these discussions have real world repercussions. Like if you think of these lynch mobs that happened due to the rants on internet, right? वो रियल वर्ल्ड में पब्लिक पागल हो जाता है फ्रॉम ऑल द rage that they do online. Maybe it's a commentary on internet and what you become on the internet, and then the blurring lines between internet and the real world.
So I think there is a एक तो basic theme is there. So a lot of anime, sci-fi movies जो भी रहता है, everything is that one variation of man versus technology.
हाँ हाँ
तो
हाँ.
वैसे देखा तो हाँ इंटरनेट बिकॉज आई हैडंट थॉट ऑफ दैट कि ये इंटरनेट के बारे में आई थॉट दे आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो एक्सप्लेन ड्रीम्स थ्रू डिफरेंट मीम्स. Paprika I think says that dream is like a movie, sometimes it may be artsy, sometimes it's like a blockbuster. फिर उसके
Right.
बाद में ये इंस्पेक्टर भी टुवर्ड्स द एंड ही सेज हाँ द ड्रीम इज लाइक अ मूवी. वो भी बीच में ही कंपेयर्स इट टू द इंटरनेट राइट. So
Right.
that's a he or some other character. So that's what I thought कि they're just trying to do this. But then yeah, वो एक टेक्नोलॉजी का हमेशा है यहाँ पे. For instance, that सबसे clear example is that chairman. He is the chairman of a big company. उसका तो he'll have such a big breakthrough if this technology DC Mini becomes more widely used. But then he wants to control it. He wants to say कि dreams should not be tampered with. He wants to preserve the purity of dreams, right?
But do you think that is his intention? कि starting से he feels that dreams should not be invaded, or because in the end you see that he is actually controlling dreams, and in this whole pursuit he kind of takes over the body of his subordinate, and now he has legs which he always wanted. So was that his end game, or was it pure in the
So
beginning and then he goes mad?
so वही that I feel is like one self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. I think he dreams that this is very powerful. The DC Mini, it's a very powerful technology, and agar if it falls in the wrong hands, so फिर he dreams of the destruction that it could cause, the kind of mayhem that it could cause. So he wants to keep that from happening, but then to do that, he turns rogue. He turns evil. He
Right.
steals it. उसके बाद में it's like a spiral downwards for him. And then that is what we see towards the end when his dream world comes into the starts colliding with the real world and पूरा वो collapse होने लगता है everything.
Any particular scenes that you really found amazing?
The inspector's dream sequence, right? There's a man on the stage. Yeah, he's trying to arrest him. उसके बाद में there are no faces shown, right? Only the inspector का face you can see when all those people coming in. That whole sequence was very amazing. उसके बाद तो I think the whole movie has its moments. That's the thing about anime also. I feel like visualizations are always insane. It takes it to a next level.
Next level. Vivek?
Yeah, for me, I think my favorite scene was when the doctor kind of jumps out of the window, and it cuts to that parade that is happening with that crescendo kind of a music.
Right.
I I don't know what happened at that point of time. I was like, because it was almost like a build up to a point that, oh, this is this device has been stolen and now we have to kind of get to the bottom of it. And then suddenly this guy's jumping out of the window, and then you see a parade of which has refrigerators, microwave ovens, telephones, with that, the kind of music which was so devilish but celebratory. It was so weird. I think that was my definitely my favorite scene of the film. Like if I go back and watch the film, I just kind of watch that
Hmm.
one scene with four characters in the room and cuts to that parade that
Right.
happens.
I'm a sucker for title sequences. This film's title sequence I really like. Like from the time she comes out of that session with the detective starting say, and then she's heading back from screens to screens. From she jumps into someone's t-shirt. It's all so beautifully done that I really liked. And the other sequence where I felt terrified also was when this guy who is madly in love with Paprika and Chiba, he kind of captures her, or फिर वो he kind of puts his hand through her body and rips off Paprika का वो that veneer on top of Chiba, उसको निकालता है और फिर वो पीछे अंदर चीबा रहती है. So that one was like एकदम terrifying. I was thinking कि Paprika तो गई अभी खत्म. तो वहां पे मेरे को बहुत सही लगा वो. I mean that sequence I really like.
That was sick. And वो एक और एक part था where the tension gets like insane is where they go to that Himuro है उसका नाम. They go to his house and
Right.
they try to find him. They go to one park right from there.
हाँ.
Whoa, that whole sequence until Himuro comes at them. That was also like chilling, was.
Yeah, I mean that's killer. That is
Full on
seriously
build up है वो.
full on. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's amazing. So these sequences are really good, man. And like you were saying, anime films may, I mean, the visualization is so beautiful. You can't say where the film is going to go next because ये लोग का obviously the imagination that they use, the scale at which they do it is mind blowing. Vivek, you this was the first anime film that you watched, na?
Yes, I've heard so much about manga comics, anime films, but I've never got the chance to kind of experience that form of art. And this one, as we were telling Monish earlier, I was quite hesitant before getting into it, but now it's like I've got a taste of it, and I want to explore more of this universe.
हाँ नहीं तो I think इसके पहले I had seen just two anime films as far as I remember. One was like the most talked about film called Spirited Away, and the other one is like an insane film called Mind Game by Masaki Yuasa. I think Vivek तुर को सब छोड़ के पहले Mind Game देखना चाहिए. So that one is like anime on dope, like on cocaine. एकदम एकदम खतरनाक वाइल्ड है. एंड उसमें क्या होता है उसमें तो एनिमे जो स्टाइल ऑफ एनिमेशन है वो भी चेंज होता है थ्रू द फिल्म. सो इट्स लाइक अ क्रेजी एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ एन आइडिया. You should definitely watch it. And we have like a expert Monish स्टूडियो गिबली फिल्म्स का वो एक्सपर्ट है भाई मेरे. और रिमेम्बर जापान से मैं लेके आया था तेरे लिए स्टूडियो गिबली के लिए कुछ.
Yeah. And I think the first movie I watched anime was Akira. Yeah, that's like one very seminal animation movie. Yeah, anime. And you guys should watch it definitely.
हिंदी वाली नहीं ना?
नहीं हिंदी वाला नहीं. जब वो हिंदी वाला was announced मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा कि ऐसा एक इतना अच्छा नाम बिगाड़ रहे करके.
Because
So I happened to
anime
watch ये वाला भी इसका Tokyo Godfathers भी देखा था. That is a completely different movie. You'll enjoy it very much.
Yeah. So just to round this off, any weird dreams, recurring dreams that you guys have that you would want to share? Because this was all about dreams.
I don't have any recurring dreams per se, but one dream that I still vividly remember is it was a very scary dream when I was quite young, and I'm sleeping in the bed, and there are two, three thieves or whatever step coming into the house and coming into my room, and I can see them. coming in, and they just hold my feet, and they start, just shaking my feet. That's
हाँ,
it. That's all they do. And in the dream, I'm just yelling, and I'm just yelling at them, and they're just shaking my feet, and I wake up. That's one dream that I just vividly remember.
मनीष को मैंने पूछा था, उसने बोला वही गार्डन वैरायटी ड्रीम आता है मेरे को क्या.
So that was about exams and recurring तो नहीं, once in every few years suddenly एक आता है वो call. So
हाँ, I don't know.
it's
I
like
also
ऐसा.
have the same thing, exam wala. Like I am late, or I have not studied anything, or I have studied and I am on time, but the time is just scurrying away, and I am stuck on the second question or something like that. ये मतलब exams have like a deep impact on our minds, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have given some more importance to exams in my life, I may have had those dreams, but I never did.
It's very weird because वो reaction ऐसा होता है कि you wake up and then you think अरे आज तो Sunday है तो आज exam नहीं होगा. Then you realize नहीं, you're 30 years old, वो बहुत साल पहले हो गया, वो खत्म हो गया.
ट्रू एकदम ऐसा लगता था कि ओ शिट बच गए यार, अभी तो मैं ऑफिस जाना है, अभी तो बच गए, एग्जाम एग्जाम में ऐसा फेल नहीं होने वाला हूँ मैं. तो वन
Exactly.
ड्रीम दैट आई vividly remember, and I had sometime written about this also, but एक मेरे को एकदम ऐसा खतरनाक ड्रीम है, एकदम विविड बचपन में आया था कि आई वॉज लाइक एट अ फ्रेंड्स प्लेस. लोखंड वाला है, लोखंड वाला में, यू ऑल नो दैट प्लेस, अंधेरी में, वहां पे हूँ. अपने बिल्डिंग के सामने बिल्डिंग में फ्रेंड रहता है, उसके घर पे मैं बैठा हूँ. एंड देयर इज वन मोर एकदम ऐसे वियर्ड, हम लोग का दोस्त नहीं था बट ही वाज अ क्लासमेट, वो फ्रेंड साथ में है. एंड व्हेन वी आर जस्ट चिलिंग, व्हेन सडनली वी एकदम अर्थक्वेक्स आना शुरू होता है, धाड़ धाड़ धाड़, एंड बहुत सारा साउंड्स भी आना चालू होता है. सो वी रन टू द विंडो एंड वी लुक नीचे, बिकॉज वी आर ऑन द फिफ्थ फ्लोर. वी लुक व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, एंड पीपल आर रनिंग टू वन साइड, जैसे वो डिजास्टर फिल्म में होता है ना, यहाँ से डायनासोर आ रहा है तो वो दूसरे साइड से भाग रहे हैं, ऐसे भाग रहे हैं, और गाड़ियां एक दूसरे में क्रैश कर रही है और वो जा रही है, राइट. सो देन वी गो टू द अदर विंडो सो दैट वी कैन सी व्हाट इज लाइक बिहाइंड दीज गाइज. And I see this huge man, like he's even taller than the seven highest, क्या बोलते हैं, टावर देयर. 7 माला 10 माला का एक आदमी चलते हुए दूर से आ रहा है. तो और वो क्या कर रहा है पता है, वो ऐसा हाथ घुमाता है और वो एक बिल्डिंग का लाइक एक पूरा फ्लोर को चॉप कर देता है. तो अगर 7 माले का बिल्डिंग है तो वो फोर्थ माले को ऐसे उड़ा देगा, और फिफ्थ माला वो फोर्थ पे आके बैठेगा, ऐसे करके वो एक एक फ्लोर उड़ा उड़ा के आ रहा है, राइट. एंड सडनली वी,
जेंगा खेल रहा है ये.
हाँ जेंगा खेल रहा है. तो उसमें बेसिकली मेरे को ऐसा रियलाइज होता है कि अभी 2 ही बिल्डिंग बचा है, देन ही विल कम एंड चॉप ऑफ वन फ्लोर देयर. सो ऑल वी हैव टू डिसाइड इन वट एवर टाइम वी हैव इज, should we stay on the fifth floor or should we go to the fourth floor or the sixth floor, what should we do. And we say that नहीं, हम लोग यहीं पे रहते हैं, यही odds अच्छा है अपना, इधर ही रहने का, नीचे तो पहुंच ही नहीं सकते, तो यहीं पे रहते हैं. एंड एट द वेरी लास्ट मोमेंट वो जो तीसरा बंदा है, जो हर ऐसे ड्रामेटिक फिल्म में ऐसा होता है, एक बंदा होता है वियर्ड ऑब्नॉक्सियस, वो भागता है और वो मर जाता है, वैसे ही ये निकलता है और फोर्थ फ्लोर पे जाता है. एंड लो एंड बिहोल्ड एक हाथ आता है, फोर्थ फ्लोर उड़ा देता है, और हम लोग जाके फोर्थ फ्लोर पे सेट हो जाते हैं. एंड वी आर लाइक शॉक्ड कि भाई वो गया, वो बंदा गया. वी रन टू द विंडो एंड सी हु इज दिस गाय वॉकिंग ऑफ अस. एंड आई स्वेयर आई सी अमिताभ बच्चन. That tall
This
guy is
is
Amitabh Bachchan.
this is Indian Transformers.
तभी ट्रांसफॉर्मर से ऐसा कोई फिल्म नहीं निकला था, बट इट वाज सच अ विविड ड्रीम. मेरे को मतलब उठने के बाद मैं सोच रहा था ये क्या हो गया अचानक, ये कैसे हो गया, डिजास्टर फिल्म, उसमें अमिताभ बच्चन है और वो हम लोग को मारने आया. इट्स जस्ट टू विविड, एंड आई रिमेंबर इट टू दिस डे, एंड इट्स द वियर्डेस्ट ड्रीम काइंड ऑफ आई हैव हैड.
I thought you will say कि ये BMC ने भेजा है उसको illegal floors हटाने के लिए.
हो सकता है, हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. दैट्स अ गुड इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ इट.
ये जिसने भी पोलियो के 4 बूंद नहीं लिए हैं उसको हटा देगा वो.
Yeah.
4 बूंद नहीं भैया, 2 बूंद.
अच्छा 2 थे क्या? सॉरी, मैंने
तूने
नहीं
4.
लिए, मुझे नहीं पता.
ओह ओके. So that was a lot of fun, guys. I think we have covered most of the things that we wanted to. Monish, yaar, thank you for joining in. This was so much fun. And I think you should be sending us more recommendations so that we keep calling you back and we have more discussions like this.
Thank you for inviting me. Definitely. Recommendations तो ऐसे ही भेजो.
और एक सातोशी का कोई फिल्म उठाते हैं और देखते हैं, and then we'll get back sometime very soon. What do you say, Vivek?
I'm going to watch all the 3 films that you guys have suggested already. उसके बाद Satoshi के films. I'm just going to go crazy over anime now.
Yeah, you should. You are missing a beautiful world.
Go for it.
Go
Netflix
for
पे पूरा आ गया. The whole Studio Ghibli catalog, most of it is there on.
Okay, thank you guys for listening in. Do send in your comments or your interpretations of Paprika in the comments. And yes, let us know which other film to watch and we might invite you to the next discussion. So that's it. Bye everyone.
Bye, Viru. Thank you.